Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm comparing the Nissan Frontier to the Nissan Titan to see which Nissan truck you should purchase. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Tim Daly Nissan here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with both of the trucks. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Jeff. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood of the Frontier, we have a naturally aspirated 3.8 liter V6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 281 pound-feet of torque. Under the hood of the Titan, we have a naturally aspirated 5.6 liter V8 that also goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 413 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front ends, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the Frontier, this is in Pro 4X, guys, which I would say is the most desirable version of the Frontier. And so you guys can see we've got like the orange Nissan logo there in the center. Really cool daytime running lights with LED headlamps. And then look at the fog lights down below. We also have these orange tow hooks here at the bottom with skid plate protection. And with this Pro 4X package, this has about 9.5 inches of ground clearance. But yeah, it just makes the Frontier look so sweet. And to make things even, I picked out a Titan that also has the Pro 4X package as well. You guys can see orange everywhere, just like on the Frontier, but completely different headlight design. We still have fog lights though, still have skid plate protection. Now in terms of ground clearance, this has just under 10 inches of ground clearance. But let me know which front end you think looks better. Now coming around the side here with the Frontier, our turn wheel setup is 265, 70, 17 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see we've got these beadlock style wheels, which I think look really cool. You've got these big chunky fender flares. This one has these side steps here that also double as rock rails. And then of course, Pro 4X there on the side. And then here is your full side view there with the Frontier. So on the Titan, our tire wheel setup is 275, 70, 18 in the front and over in the rear as well. You guys can see you've got like the off-road style wheels just like the Frontier, but they don't have the beadlock style, if that makes sense. Fender flares are actually a little bit more subtle. And then you guys can see here with the door handles how those actually match. Of course, we got Pro 4X there on the bed too. And then here's kind of like your side profile there on the Titan. Everything's just kind of like blown up. Now here are the key fobs for both the trucks. They have the same exact functionality, so your lock, unlock, remote start function, and they both have the new Nissan logos there at the top. Now when it comes to payload capacities, the Frontier is 1,050 pounds, whereas the Titan is 1,280 pounds. And then with towing capacity, the Frontier is going to be right around that 6,000 pound range, whereas the Titan's going to be closer to the 10,000 pound range. And then actually popping into the bed, you guys can see that everything's already protected from the factory, which, yeah, I love the finish on this, just kind of a random point. Anyways, you guys can see these sliders right there. We also have some LED bed light action and a full outlet here in the bed as well. And then the tailgate is also protected. And then popping over the Titan, we basically have the exact same setup, even an outlet here. No LED lights though, but just everything's bigger in the Titan. Now I might be off a little bit on my figures, but I believe this bed is about 5 feet in length roughly, and then this one is about 5.5 feet. Correct me in the comment section below if I'm wrong. Now finishing things up with the rears, you guys can see with the Titan, really cool looking taillights. We have a little kick step here at the bottom to make accessing the bed a little bit easier. Parking sensors there with the receiver hitch, and of course we got the plaque on the back. And then over on the Frontier side of things, no plaque here on the back, but still really cool looking taillights, parking sensors. It doesn't look like we have a kick step or anything there. And overall, just let me know which rear style you think is cooler. Now here's the door panel on the rear of the Frontier. You guys can see the padding here. I think that looks really cool. And then popping over the seats, this is where things get real snazzy. As you can see, look at the carbon fiber print. But let's see space. This will be a big difference, I'm sure. So here's the legroom and the headroom in the Frontier. It's actually really good for a mid-sized pickup truck. And then we got some outlets here in the back too. Now taking a look at the Titan, the color theme is the same as the Frontier, but the material use is a little bit different. Like it actually feels different, has like a cowhide texture to it. Same thing here with the seats. Notice they're perforated all down the center, if the camera will focus on that. Anyways, getting up a little bit more because this is higher up off the ground. Definitely a lot more legroom here in the back of the Titan. Yeah, same thing with headroom. So it is substantially more spacious back here. Got a little storage pocket. And then you guys can see with the cup holders here, vents, bunch of outlets, heated seats here in the back as well. Lots of nice stuff. Now popping over to the front of the Frontier, you guys can see the material use again here up front. And then I like this little thing here with the carbon fiber print. Front window is automatic, got stuff like blind spot monitoring. Fender sound system, which is actually really solid. And then here are the seats. Notice it says Pro 4X. And then again, the carbon fiber print there on the side. Do have our power adjustments, lots of controls here. So we've got our tow mode, you got this for the outlet, the safety tech cargo light, your hill descent control, your rear locking differential, stability control right there. And then let's see how this sounds closing. Solid. Ooh. So here is the steering wheel, got nice padding around, again orange with the Nissan logo. Notice we do have some features like adaptive cruise control, you've got your volume controls, voice command controls on the steering wheel. And then here's our gauge cluster. It's half analog, half digital is what we will call it. But you can basically scroll through a bunch of different menus here in the center with the truck. This is important, is the off-road stuff. But we'll also do a little fuel economy test during the driving. So I'll reset and see which one gets better fuel economy. And then you guys can see here with the camera system, full 360. We do have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Notice the bird's eye view as well. It's something that I really like about this model is having all of the cameras. But regardless, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you can see response time's really good with the screen itself when I press functions. And I can also press this to pull up the camera again if I want to see different camera views, which is nice. And then we do have stuff like dual zone climate. We've got heated seats here for the front, heated steering wheel as well. We've got wireless phone charging. Well, actually, no, sorry, that's the storage. The wireless phone charging pad is back here. But we do have these little grab handles right here, which is pretty cool. And then you can see here with our shifter for that 9-speed automatic transmission. And then look at the center console, pretty snazzy. I do like this on the dash. I think that's cool. And you also get storage here at the top too. Glove box, pretty normal. And then this one does have a sunroof here at the top. And then with the rear glass, you can open it, but it is manual for the operation. Now popping to the front of the Titan, same thing here with the front, just different material use. Again, has the cowhide texture. And then here are the seats, same thing, notice perforated all down the center. And then we've got stuff for like the outlet, your cargo light, your rear locking differential, hill descent control. Steering wheel's power adjustable, which is nice. Getting in again, got to step up higher. So I might want side steps. Ooh, also memory seats. Pretty cool. It does have blind spot monitoring if you're wondering. Ooh. So here is the steering wheel. You notice that controls are all the same. Big difference with this, you notice we have a column shifter here with the Titan. Right instead of the shifter on the center console. You've got your tow haul mode here. You've got the plus and minus to do the gears yourself. The gauge cluster itself, I mean, it's basically identical, as you can see. In terms of function and, you know, aesthetic, it's pretty much the same, right? So that's neat. And then if we pop it into reverse, camera system also identical. Obviously just set up differently because this is a bigger size truck, so the camera views will look a little bit different. But you guys can see I can press the camera button just like the Frontier. Infotainment system, that's the same. Notice dual zone climate controls here. And then you guys can see we've got some controls for like stability control, parking sensor, your safety tech, heated steering wheel right there. Trailer brake controls, some USB action. Heated and ventilated seats here in the Titan, so that is an upgrade to getting the ventilated function. And then your drive line select here, this little shifter. And then you guys can see with the center console setup, quite a bit different. Obviously full-size trucks, so you got kind of more storage space in general. Same thing with the glove box, looks a little bit bigger. I do like this on the dash, again with like the cowhide texture. And then we got a sunglass holder, and then this actually is a full panoramic sunroof, so that's another big difference, full panoramic. And then we have a power setting rear window, so that's another difference. Now when it comes to pricing, the Titan stickers for about $63,000, whereas the Frontier stickers for about $48,000. And I feel like these are as comparable as it gets because they're both fully loaded Pro 4Xs. Okay, so we are starting off in the Titan, and I reset the trip computer so that we can see after our short drive with both the trucks which one gets the best fuel economy out of the bunch. And I kind of already know the answer because I've had both of these as test vehicles from Nissan, but we'll still see for the video. Gotta love that V8. This 5.6 liter V8 is one of the last great truck engines out there. Toyota has gone for twin turbo engines Same thing with Ford. Ford obviously still offers their 5.0 V8, but they just don't build that many. I mean, at least here in Utah, like every single F-150 I see is an EcoBoost, either a 2.7 or a 3.5. And then Ram still got their 5.7 Hemi, but they only sell it in e-torque guys. You can't just get like what this is, just plain old V8, nothing else. But anyways, talking about how the Titan drives, it's really comfortable. So again, it's a full-size pickup truck, so it's a large vehicle, and because it's got such a long wheelbase, it smooths everything out, right? When you go over bumps and everything, it doesn't upset the vehicle all that much just because of how big it is. It's got so much torque as well, which I think is really impressive. I think that's another thing that I really like about the Titan. And this bumpy road really shows the benefit of the Titan. Now, both of these I didn't show in the walk around video because I'm trying to make the video a particular length. Both these have Bilstein shocks. That's part of the Pro 4X package. And what the Bilstein shocks do is they basically help out with damping, you know, on high speed stuff and with low speed stuff. On the high speed stuff, what they'll do is they'll kind of stay a little bit more on the firm side of things so that you have better handling. On the low speed stuff, it seems like there's a little bit more play in it, so then it kind of helps out with smoothing everything out. But it'll be interesting to see, especially of these train tracks, how they compare to each other with the shocks. A little bit of a bump there on the back end. They both utilize leaf springs as well, and so you do get a little bit of back end hop here and there. But overall, seat comfort's great here in the Titan. It'll be interesting to see the difference with that too. Ride quality's great, and we'll get an acceleration, and then we'll sum things up the driving here. Okay, so we are about to get our acceleration here with the Titan to see how much muscle this 5.6 liter V8 has. Sounds so good. Yeah, that gets up. That is powerful. Again, 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. Definitely a muscular engine. Again, in a pickup truck, this is like probably, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's an engine I like more than this based on the power and the character. I'm not sure. I mean, it's such a good engine. Okay, so over the course of our 2-mile driving route, we got just under 13 miles per gallon. Okay, so setting off in the Frontier, and actually we got to reset the fuel economy, so do that before we officially move. I thought that I'd just hold the enter down to reset it. There we go. Okay. Forgot I have to push down the tab to do it first. I'm remembering. It's been a minute since I've reviewed a Nissan, which is a shame. I need to review them more often, honestly. But let's kind of see. The reason I wanted to do Titan first, Frontier second, is to see if I felt like I was losing anything going into the Frontier, right? Because it's the smaller, more affordable vehicle. So just want to see that. First off, yeah, you do feel a torque difference. I mean, right? 413 pound-feet versus 281 pound-feet. And the thing's crazy is this is like one of the, in terms of naturally aspirated engines in a mid-size truck, it's one of the craziest ever, because it's just really, really powerful with torque and with the horsepower. Now, the thing I'm noticing is, over the bumps, the Titan definitely seemed to absorb those a little bit better. I want to see the train tracks, though, to really formulate my opinion. But the damping, I mean, overall, like ride quality and everything doesn't seem as different as I expected it. I mean, the Titan's definitely more, I guess, more comfortable because of the longer wheelbase. You do feel that. But this is super comfortable. Like, it's not as big of a difference as you'd expect, given the size difference with the vehicles, the weight and the length. I do like how small this drives. So I think that's a big benefit. Okay, this is what will really tell us, is these train tracks here with the damping. Yeah, I mean, this thing, I think this thing almost does a better job, and it seems like the weight is more evenly distributed. This one has little bumps, so it'll tell me if like the back end pops up. Yeah, the back end still popped up, so Still have leaf springs. But yeah, it seems, I don't know, it seems like this is a little bit more balanced in terms of the driving. We're gonna get our acceleration here at the Frontier now. Woo! It's definitely slower. It's definitely slower. Even though it's lighter weight, yeah, the Titan, that engine, and that's kind of what I expected. And so it's really good for what it is, but yeah, it's no V8, right? So summing things up though here with the Frontier drive, super impressed, honestly, with how this drives overall. So actually, let's get the fuel economy rating and then we'll kind of cap things off. Okay, so same exact 2-mile route, 17.1 miles per gallon. So to quickly cap things off with our comparison, fuel economy, that was pretty interesting. I mean, there's a bigger difference than I actually expected there to be. Again, that's not like the best fuel economy test ever, but it's always interesting to see driving two vehicles back to back on the exact same route, exact same conditions, like what the fuel economy difference is going to be no matter how long the drive is. So definitely super interesting. But regardless, obviously we do have to kind of pick a winner for today's video, and I'm actually going to give the win to the Frontier. Now, I do think the Titan is an amazing full-size pickup truck, and frankly, it's like the last good, reliable full-size pickup truck on the market. Toyota had a good, reliable full-size pickup truck in the form of the Tundra, but they obviously have the new Tundra, which has a twin-turbo engine, which it's good for a twin turbocharged engine, but you can't beat a big naturally aspirated V8 in terms of reliability. So Titan's still great for full-size pickup trucks. And when it comes to mid-size pickup trucks, I feel like the Frontier's in the same boat. We still have the current generation Tacoma, which has the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6, but that engine sucks compared to this engine. And so this is the last good, reliable mid-size pickup truck that's actually worth buying because the seats are comfortable. They're not as comfortable as the Titan seats though, by the way. But anyways, let me know which one you'd pick, Frontier or Titan. My particular pick is going to be Frontier.